And we are recording. Excellent. So welcome everybody. Appreciate you all being on. Let me mute up the lines. If you've got any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. But I appreciate y'all being on. Just finished up literally with a launch for Joanne and Marianne. Great job. Got to sit down with Melanie, and she's just awesome. So important when you get somebody brand new coming on is make sure that launch gets scheduled. Don't assume that they can't make it. Don't assume that they don't have time. Don't assume that they're too busy. Make it happen. Make it happen in the first 24 to 48 hours. She literally enrolled yesterday, and we just got done with a launch, and it's very powerful, very powerful. Shared a lot of information, and most importantly, she knows what to do right out of the gate. And that's another thing, and one of the first things I want to talk about tonight is making sure that everybody is crystal clear what they do. And just give a little background on this. When I did the I Know a Guy video, the result of that was literally probably close to 100 or more of inoculation talks. So going through the process, when somebody first gets started in the business, they have their list of people. So they write those names down. And then they contact these people. And then they build rapport with these people, find out something that they've got in common, find out personal things about the other person. And when somebody shares their personal information with them, there's a connection there. And obviously we do this with people that we know. And then when we don't know somebody, we have these talks long enough, and then they share something with you, and now they're no longer a stranger, they're a friend or an acquaintance at least. And after that happens, then you pique their interest, see what they might be interested in. And then what we did is we immediately passed them over, and we did that by way of a phone call. We would get on the phone and try to get with the leader in the organization and be able to see if they were available right then and there to talk to this other person who might be available right then and there. And it was absolute chaos, but that's just how we'd done it for all these times, so we kept doing it. And when I would get on those phone calls, I would have what's called an inoculation talk. And the purpose of that talk was to make sure that the person on the other end didn't think that they knew what we were doing. It was to make sure they were clear on what it is that we're doing. Because one of the things that stuck with me for so long is nobody says no to what we do. They say no to what we think, what they think we have to do. And people have preconceived notions in their brain on how to do something. People will take literally one word and they will build an entire story off of that word. And so when I did all of these inoculation phone calls with people, I realized so many different things because I had so many repetitions with so many people that people weren't getting it. People just had so much nonsense in their brain. That's where the terrorists came from. And so when I created the I Know a Guy video, it was as a result of doing so many of those inoculations. I mean, force feeding them. And we got such great information out of that, and that's where that video came from. Now, I don't know if you think it's a good video or not. I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't really care what your opinion of it is. I know it works. Straight up, not trying to be arrogant. I'm just, man, I know it works. And I know it works. I know it works extremely well. Can there be different things for different people? Of course. Is it as good as sitting there with me face to face with that person, having a one-on-one conversation? No, it's impossible for that. But that also doesn't scale. This does. And so we figured that part out. Now that's running it's running really good. It weeds the people out. It finds the ones that want something. So many people are using that after they introduce them to me. I do the text with them back and forth. And then I ask them and say, you want to talk to me on the phone or do you want to watch the video? 99%, probably higher than that, but 99% want to watch the video. They don't want to talk to me. People don't want to talk to people they don't know. That's weird. Just is. So when they can watch that, it's not confrontational. The key is getting them in front of the information. It gets them in front of the information. It beats down their terrorist that's telling them all this nonsense about what they can do and can't do. It took all that information, and it's in that wonderful, beautiful video. Now, after that was done, then we've got the presentation. We've had that for ages. Presentation's a presentation. I consider my presentations to be a little long, but I'm okay with that Because if you don't want to watch all that, you don't need to watch all of it anyway. And you're going to make your decision before it's even done anyway. I'm good with that. And then the people that do want the information want that information. If you don't want that information, that's cool. Again, I'm fine with that. But the ones that do, it has that. And the ones that don't want all that are going to get all their questions answered in the first video anyway. So that process works beautiful. The next thing that I've been observing, because I've been doing so many launches and I've been doing so many relaunches for people that have been in, haven't had the success that they want, I'm literally sitting with them one-on-one and we are just making some serious connections with people. The reason I'm having these connections with people, and that's what I want to chat about with you guys, is that I'm defining 3 things that people need to be successful in anything they do. And that's what we're going to chat about here for the training portion of Power Hour. You got to be crystal clear on where you want to go. To do that, you got to be crystal clear on where you're at. That's the first one. Where you at, where you want to go. Second one is human beings got to have a vehicle to get them there. Your feet is one way that you can get yourself from point A to point B. A bicycle is another way. Car is another way. A moped's another way. A helicopter's another way. A rocket ship is another way. You got to have a vehicle. You got to have some way to get yourself from point A to point B. The third thing is that you've got to know how to drive the vehicle. If somebody does not have all 3 parts, they do not take action. They don't even leave the house on their trip. Point A is where you live. Point B is Miami, whatever. We're going to Miami. Awesome. We're leaving tomorrow. We're taking a helicopter. Hell yeah. That's a whole lot better than walking, a whole lot better than driving. Yeah, let's do this. Cool. Part 3, you're driving the helicopter. Guess we ain't going to Miami then, are we? And you don't leave the house because you don't know how to drive the helicopter. Beautiful vehicle, wonderful destination, no clue how to drive the car. No clue how to drive the helicopter. No clue how to drive their vehicle. Every one of you are on here right now because A, you have some level of understanding of where you want to go. You've got a desire. Otherwise, you wouldn't be online at Thursday at 9 o'clock at night Central Time. B, you got to have a vehicle. And looking at all the names, don't know about all the numbers, but I'm assuming everybody here has a vehicle called Kyani. There could be guests taking a look at this, looking at it later. I'm good with that too. But you need a vehicle, and this is a heck of a one to get you there. So all of y'all are good on that part. If you're not where you want to go, chances are you don't have an explicit, absolute, ironclad, confident level of understanding of how to drive the vehicle. Or it could be you're coming in for some refinements and you want to be able to bone up on it and get a little bit better at how to drive it faster. But you got to have those things. More importantly, your team has to have those things. Here's an observation is that some of you are out taking action. You are driving the car. Some of you have been drinking whiskey before you've been driving the car, though. You're slipping and sliding all around. You haven't completely destroyed it, but you got some whiskey dents. You got, you might not have changed the oil in a while. It's a little scuffed up on the rims. You've gone over some curbs. Things like that have happened. That's cool. I'm good with that. But what I want you to do, what I want to do for you is I want to make sure first, every one of you knows exactly how to drive the car. Now, we've been spending a lot of time on the last several of these power hours that we've been talking about the destination. We've been digging hard into your desire. I want to make sure, and I loop around between these 3 topics all the time, but I want to make sure you're clear on how to drive it. And I want to make sure that your team is being informed how to drive it. If you ever notice, for y'all that have kids, how your kids pick up the worst habits first from you? I made a comment the other day in the kitchen about the lack of butter in the refrigerator. And I was pretty colorful in my explanation of the lack of butter. My 3-year-old immediately repeats my explanation about the lack of butter in a very colorful fashion. I mean, I said a lot of things, but he picked up on 2 words. So here's the deal. Processes duplicate, good ones and bad ones. Make sure that your people are being brought on in the correct way. Because if you don't bring them on in the correct way, they're going to go out and do the same thing that you did with them. And if that sticks, then it becomes habit. So I get that the Jade Factory is a little different than what people are used to doing. I also get that old habits are hard to break. I also get that there are better processes that are out there that have been proven to be better. So make sure when you guys are doing all the steps in driving this car, there's going to be passengers with you from time to time. You're going to be talking about Kyani. Tell them how awesome the car is. Do your darndest not to explain the car. Just say how much fun you have with the car. You're not the mechanic. You don't need to explain how the engine works. Just tell them how cool the car is, how fast it is, how fun it is. Make sure that that process is being followed so that they don't go out and immediately try something different. Now, again, y'all that are driving the car right now, I don't want you to take this as me beating on you. You're doing the steps. God bless you. I just want you to be optimum so that it's not you just getting one and done. I want the one that you get to go out and get 3. And I want the 3 that they get to go get 9. And I want the 9 that they get to go get 27 and 81 and 243 and 729 and so on and so forth. And I'm telling you, this process will duplicate at that speed if you make sure the DNA goes from one generation to the next generation correctly. So the steps on what we do, let me share my screen. Point A, point B, you want to get there. You got to have a vehicle. Here's your Kyani car. You're looking at it from the top. Then you got to make sure they know how to operate it. Step 1, where do you want to go? Step 2, do you have a vehicle to do it? Step 3, do you know how to drive it? When people don't know how to drive it, they immediately give up on their destination. Can't fly a helicopter, not getting to Miami. My son on a cross-country meet the other day says he only wants to make top 5. I know my son long enough to know, and it's not what I desire, because my daughter's not the same way. I'm not projecting this onto him. I know how he is. And when I dug deep enough and I asked enough questions, found out that he actually wanted to be number 1. But he did not see a way that he could beat the kid that's perceived to be the fastest in the school. I don't know how to beat Aiden. Because he didn't know how to beat Aiden, he got rid of his destination and he decided, I don't want to go all the way from Houston to Miami. I'll just make it as far as New Orleans. Now, there ain't nothing wrong with New Orleans. I'm completely cool with New Orleans. But if you want to go to Miami, say you want to go to Miami. He hedged where he wanted to go because he did not see how to drive the vehicle. He immediately collapsed those 2 things onto each other. I'm telling you, make sure. You've got to get this. You've got to experience this. Do not collapse the place you want to go with not knowing how to be able to do it and give up on it. I want to go to Miami, but I don't know how to fly the car. That's not the way you do it, because that gives up on everything before the but. What you do is you say, I want to go to Miami, and I don't know how to drive the car yet. If you try that on, if you replay that in your mind, say that in your mind's voice right now, I want to go to Miami, and I don't know how to drive the vehicle. When you try that on, I don't know if you feel that or not, but you feel there's possibility, and your mind starts working on solutions on how to get to Miami, how to drive the car. There's an open spot there. When you say, I want to get to Miami, but I don't know how to drive the car, you shut down all possibility. There is no space for the possibility to exist. That's what ails 97% of our population on planet Earth right now. Make sure you get that. Use the word and, not but. That separates the two. It gives space. You know where you want to go. You don't know how to get there just yet. That's cool. We'll figure that out. I want to get here, and I don't know how to do it yet. Now there's possibility. Now I can get there. I can figure it out. If I want it to, bad enough. If I want first place, bad enough. I'll figure out how to beat the kid. I'll leave possibilities open. Maybe a wind gust blows. Maybe he trips. Maybe his shoe comes untied. I don't know. But there's at least a possibility of something happening to be able to win the race. Make sure you keep that separate. Make sure you feel that, experience that, understand that. So back to it. How do we drive this car? You need to have somebody to talk to. You need to find out how they're doing and ask them questions. Some skills you can use while asking questions are questions around the acronym of FORM: family, occupation, recreation, money, or motivation. Okay, Casey, what do I do with these? Have a conversation. Start with, hi, how are you doing today? They reply back, I'm doing well, thank you. You say, how's the family been? Family's doing great. Or, little Billy's not doing so good. His asthma's acting up on him. Diabetes isn't looking too good. Uncle Joe's back is hurting pretty bad. Aunt Susie's got an issue with her ticker. These are the types of things that are going to come out in a conversation. Well, how's your job been? You enjoying working there? How's your commute? They paying you enough? Are they appreciating you? Did you get that bonus that you were hoping for? Did you get that promotion? Did you get that promotion where you didn't get a raise, where they gave you a whole lot more work and said you're doing no, they didn't even tell you were doing a good job. They just gave you more work, no more pay. Got it. That's cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. How's that going for you? Did you go on a vacation anytime recently? Have you been on any trips? Oh, you forgot what a trip was because you didn't get that raise. Okay, got it. Oh, you don't have any time to go. Why? I thought they gave you, oh, you don't get any vacation? Oh, you get a week's vacation. Got it. Okay. That's cool. Don't you work on Saturdays too? Okay, yeah, that's fun. Kathy, I swear I'm not talking about you. I'm just saw your picture. What do you do for motivate? What motivates? You don't have any motivation anymore? Oh, you had that beaten out of you a couple years ago? Got it. You don't get to go to your softball league anymore because your back hurts? Got it. These are the questions that you can ask, hopefully not as dripping with sarcasm that I just did, or maybe you do if that's how you roll. I'm good either way. But have these conversations to find out how they're truly doing. That's how you have a conversation with somebody. Now, once you've had that conversation, something's going to pop up and they're going to check a box mentally in your brain. That's one of 4 things that they're not getting. They're not getting enough health, wealth. They don't have enough time to do what they want, or it just really doesn't mean anything. Significance. One of those 4 boxes or more, one or more of those, they're missing. That's how you dig to find that out. Well, what happens if I don't get any information out of them? They don't tell me anything. Well, then they don't trust you enough to share anything personal with you yet. You need to build the relationship better. Review the relationship with them. Are you a giver or are you a taker in the relationship? Do you pour into them or do you constantly take from them? If you haven't given in a while and all you do is take, that might be why they don't know what to do in these situations. You're always the one talking. Truly shine the light, flip the light switch onto them and focus on them. That's your number 1 step that you do. That's the light switch. Second step, when you find out which one of these boxes is checked. My back hurts. I don't sleep so well. Oh, how long have you been dealing with that? Literally act like a private detective or a doctor at a bedside taking somebody's history. How long have you been dealing with that? That doesn't sound good. Give some empathy. I'm sorry your back hurts, man. That sucks. They mean it. This is another human being you're talking about. When we miss those cues because we're so busy formulating in our head how to sell this person a $125 product so that we can make $25 and some residual income, we miss those cues where we're supposed to be human. And they notice. That's why we don't like salespeople that suck at sales. They are takers. They are trying to get something from us. Don't be that person to your friends and your family and your coworkers and the other human beings on the planet that you're chatting with. Don't be that way to anybody. Find out what they need. To make a whole lot of money on this planet, all you have to do is identify somebody's need and fill it. They will pay you a stupid amount of money to do that. That's all we do. When you show up to clock in, you are filling a need that somebody else had. If you clean houses for a living, you filled a need that people have that they don't want to do that. So they're willing to pay money that they generated by doing the thing that they do like doing, or at least are semi-good at, that pays them an amount that they're cool with living with. They trade some of those dollars to do the things that they don't want to do. If you don't want to change your tire, you go to Discount Tire and get them to do it. If you don't want to go farm your own food, you go to H-E-B to get groceries. If you want to have electricity in your house, you pay somebody to send that to you. We're constantly doing it all the time, but you got to identify what the need is. So when you identify that health is their need, then the next thing is don't try to sell it to them. Point them to the person that has the proof, because that's the next thing they're going to want. They have a need. Now they need proof. They need some way of getting proof that this is what they're looking for. And unless you're a medical doctor, you probably don't have the proof that they're looking for. So you need to pass them to somebody else that will give them that proof. Now, this is where your ego steps in. Well, I have enough information. I know what they need to know. It ain't a matter of what they need to know. It's who they're getting it from. That ain't you. You bring the most important thing in this equation, and that is trust. I can have all the proof in the world, but if there's no trust, they ain't listening to me. You bring the trust. Somebody else brings the proof, not you. no matter how well you know it. Doesn't matter. You mess this up, you'll mess up your organization. You'll sponsor a lot of people, and you will be infinitely frustrated in this business. I know I've got the t-shirt to prove it. You can be a walking freaking encyclopedia about everything there is to know about everything in what we do. And you will be frustrated beyond all belief when you see the next guy come in that does not have a damn clue about anything, but is good at pointing to the proof person, somebody other than them, and they kill it. Why? Because you need trust and proof. That's what duplicates. Don't get this one wrong. When you hear what they want, you need to find out how bad they want it. If they have to have it, it's real easy. You're looking for people that have to have it. If they don't have to have it, they will make up every damn excuse in the world. And that is the most frustrating thing in the world. And you are letting it happen. The reason you're letting that happen is you're chasing them. If they don't want it, they ain't going to get it. Their actions will let you know if they're serious. I have written off so many people and sent them down the river, not indefinitely, just for right now. You are not worth my time right now. Why? Because you don't want what I can offer. Why am I going to chase you down and try to stuff it down your back pocket? You obviously don't want it because I'm chasing you. The presentation I did tonight, or the launch I did tonight, that wasn't me chasing somebody. She hunted me down. She goes, well, when are we going to do this launch thing? I love it. We're going to do this here pretty quick. We can do it in the next couple days. I've got this opening. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's roll, lady. What time? 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock sounds good. I'll be there. She shows up in a rainstorm. She shares with me, I don't like driving in the rain. I've got a big issue with that. And she freaking ran through a monsoon to get here. Guess who I'm going to work with? How many people have y'all chased? And then you chase them, and you chase them some more, and you chase them some more. Now, I don't have a problem following up. There's a big difference between following up and chasing. Following up is bringing their desire back to the top of their mind. That's a follow-up. A chase is when they don't have the desire and you're chasing them for you. I need this person in my business. Wrong answer. Whammy. Follow up with them. Hey, I remember when we talked the other day, you said how bad you hate your job. I also know how easy it is to get into a rut where you just keep doing the same thing over and over and again because you got bills to pay, you got priorities. I get it. And I know I'm not the top thing on your list right now. I just need to know, because I'm not in the mood to chase people. When you told me the other day that you were serious about doing this, were you or were you not serious? Now, that's where you got to separate the things. Were you serious? Do you have a destination in mind? Now, you don't know how to do it. And that's what will happen on a follow-up is they'll collapse. Your prospect will collapse. I know I want to go over here, but I don't have any time. I want to do this, but I don't have any money. I want to do this, but I'm not a good salesperson. All the nonsense comes after the but, and it destroys the thing that came before that, which is their why. I want to do this, but I want to do this, but you need to step in for them. You need to say, here's the deal. What I heard you just say was you want to do this and you don't know how to do it yet. Well, I know I don't have time. Well, then you don't know how to do it yet. What is it that you think we do? Well, then obviously you're a dumbass and you haven't been listening or you haven't plugged in or what, however you say that nicely to them, you got to smack them and get them out of their rut. If that's awkward for you, it's awkward for you. It ain't about you. It's about them. That's how you follow up with somebody and not chase them. You follow up with them and say, do you still want it? Yeah, I just don't have time. I don't have time to talk to you right now, and I'm just too busy with everything else. Bye-bye. Thank you. Come again. We'll see you next time. Now, don't destroy that relationship unless you desire to do so. Because there's some people I desire to destroy the relationship at that point. I'm done with you. I try not to get there, but it happens from time to time. Do your best to not burn that bridge all the way down. Let them take another lap out there in the lazy river. And maybe when they come around another time and cross your path and they see something a little different and they see that you still care about them. Hey, how you been, man? Last we talked, you had a lot of stuff and you got completely out of your mind on being stressed out. And I saw that. You passed that? You still enjoying what you're doing, or you looking for something else? Give them another shot. That's a follow-up. That's not a chase. Whoops, wrong button. So back to the picture. Once you've figured out what they want, you got to find out how bad they want to fix it. You've been talking about your health for a bit. Is that something that you're serious about resolving? Yeah, but again, another time that's going to step in. You're looking for the yes. If they do the yeah, but, you have objections to overcome. The objections are either upon themselves or they're upon what it is they think we have to do. If you've done this right, they don't know anything about what we've done. There's no objection to overcome other than they think they know what they need to do and they don't have a clue because they haven't done this before. You can even talk to somebody that's been in Kyani and quit and say, oh, I've done that before. Did you do it the Jade Factory way? The what? The Jade Factory way. No, well, then you haven't done it this way before. So find out how bad they want it. Get them to a point where they're going to give you their answer. I want to fix it, or I don't want to fix it. If they give the in-between answer, I do want to fix it, but you got to fix that for them and get them to understand, hey, I'm just asking, do you want to fix that? I'm not asking, do you know how to fix it? Why are you asking me all these questions? Because I've got a guy that can fix that if you want to fix it. Well, I don't know how to fix it. That's what the guy's for. This is when you slap them. And I mean that in a loving sense. Some people lose their mind. They are completely out of their mind. And they got to be slapped across the face sometimes to get them to understand what's going on. You're going to have to do that for a few people. Be good doing that for somebody because know why you're doing it. Know what your intent is. Your intent isn't to sell them some blueberries. Your intent is to be able to impact another life. Now that you get them to say, yes, I want to fix that. And you say, great, I got a guy. And they're going to come up with all kinds. Who's the guy? What's the guy do? This is where you edify the guy. That's me. Edification is not for the guy. Edification is for your prospect. It's for them to understand that who you're getting ready to put them with is the proof. The only reason that they think I've got the proof is because you planted that there. And you got to give them enough information that they're going to believe that this has value to them to get in touch with me. Now, you're not going to put them on a telephone call with me. You're going to introduce them to me. You're going to do that via a text or Facebook Messenger. And there is a very simple text that you will use to do that. That's on the Power Hour screen. It says prospect in parentheses, and then a whole bunch of words. Copy that, paste that, change the parenthesis, prospect, parenthesis with their name. And when I say their name, spell out their name, not their, anyway, you get the point. Can't make it any clearer than that. Because I promise you, I have seen a three-way chat that said prospect in it. It was awkward. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Okay. After you do that, your part is done until I'm going to respond to them. Now, I'm a human being. I screw up from time to time. Don't tell my wife, but it has happened. So if I miss one, I need you to let me know privately. Call me, text me directly. Don't put it in there. It messes that up, but send it to me directly. If I haven't responded in 24 hours and I'm not in the news, then reach out to me and say, hey, you missed one. Okay. Chances are pretty darn good I'm going to reply to them. If they don't reply to me, to our conversation, you've done something, I've done something. If the prospect doesn't reply in 24 hours, you go into action. They are stuck on the conveyor belt. They got somehow around the belt and they're in one of the little wheel things and they're just flapping around with that belt hitting them in the top of the head. Okay. You got to take them out, set them back up on the conveyor belt so that they'll move on down. Now, here's how you do it. You don't take a 2x4 to them right here. It's sometimes fun, but what you need to do is you need to bring it back to them. You need to bring back the spotlight on them and say, hey, last we talked, you mentioned that you wanted to take care of this. Now, I know life gets in the way, and you will be shocked and amazed at how life can show up all of a sudden, but it happens. Let them know if it's just life that's happened, no worries. But another possible issue that has happened since we last talked is your terrorist has gotten a hold of you and made you think that there's something that you need to do that you don't think you can do. You don't think you can drive the car. You're already shutting down the possibility of going to Miami because you don't know how to drive the car and you haven't even listened to somebody that's going to show you how to drive the car. You haven't even gotten that far. Now, some people at this point, you thought they were going to go down on the conveyor belt to the next station, but really what's happening is they are weeding themselves out and going out the river, polluting the river, and that's okay. Just because somebody said they wanted something didn't mean they really meant it. Now, here's the deal. I wholeheartedly believe that everybody truly does mean it. And the more I've dug in, the more I find that people combine the how-to with what they want. And if they don't know how to do it, it negates the whole thing. They say, no, I didn't really want that. That's a bunch of crap. You wanted it. You don't know how to do it. So tonight's big takeaway is that you want to help people identify what it is they want and don't let their terrorists get a hold of them when they don't know how to do it and shoot the whole damn thing down. That's happening, and it happens, and it happens, and it happens. I've never mentioned it this way. I've never seen it as clearly as I see it right now. This is a huge, huge thing. You want to increase the impact that you'll have on other people's lives with this. You need to get good at the skill of digging into somebody else, keeping that light on them with the light switch on, bright on them, and understand the patterns that happen when people come up quiet, when they come up missing. Again, some people have a wreck. Some people got a college paper that they got to do. It's a higher priority. It's not about you. That's fine. But a vast majority of them that come up quiet when they said they wanted to fix something and they were serious and they come up missing is because their terrorists got a hold of them and told them, you don't know how to do that. You've tried that before. You haven't been able to beat that kid in 8th grade. And since you can't do that, you can never run in a race and be successful. So you might as well not even try the race. Don't even show up to the track. That's what's happening to people. You got to stand up for them on that. Now, are all of them are going to be all wishy-washy? No, you're going to have some great ones that are going to come through. They're so much fun. They're literally going to just follow it right along. They're going to be responsive. They've been looking for this. You hit them in the right spot. It's going to be great. But there's going to be all kinds of craziness that goes on. You've got to be persistent on this. This does not happen immediately. This does take time, but let me tell you what the time is. It's the step-to-step portions of this. It's not the duration. The duration of this thing can literally be a matter of a couple of hours from the time that somebody interacts with somebody and asks how they're doing to the point that they enroll as a business partner and get launched. That can literally be a matter of hours. Because what we do at each one of those steps is so small of a time. What I want y'all to do is identify these steps that are on the plan on a page, the 3 things that we do, light switch, knob, and lever. The distance between each of those is up to y'all. The number of iterations that you do, this is a unit. Those 3 steps are a unit. Now there's another unit over here and there's another unit up here. What's happening also is that you do 1 unit and then you wait 3 days until you do the second attempt with another person. You can literally have 20 pieces running in your factory simultaneously with the distance between them shrunk way down. You have control over that. It's how fast you reach out to people. What we do is we go slow when we don't know how to drive your car. Remember when you first started driving? Did you get in there and just mash on the freaking gas and just try to keep it between the some of you maybe. But most of you, ease on the gas. Oh, and then you stop real fast. It's like, you're doing this thing and you went all like 2 miles an hour, but you just cranked on the brake. Oh God, that's too fast. Slow down. What I want y'all to do, push on the damn gas pedal. Y'all got everything you need right now. Almost all of y'all on here have been to the regional or seen the regional training. You've got everything you need to know about how to drive the car. You need confidence now. You need to stop worrying about wrecking this thing. Drive the damn thing like you stole it for a change. If you wreck it, I'll get you a new one. All right? Blow the tires. It's cool. I'll get you some new tires. Y'all are driving this thing like it's an $800,000 vehicle and you can't get any scratches on it. Blow the engine, man. Run out of gas. Do something. Some of y'all got it there and you're waxing it with a damn diaper. You got no miles on it. Get out there and drive this thing like in Ferris Bueller's Day Off when they're driving the Ferrari with the music and they're flying over the thing, man. They're catching air with this. Drive it like that. All right. Let's take a little bit. Who's got some examples of driving the car that they want to share? Linda, what you got? There it goes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So, Casey, I have been carpooling with this woman for years, known her for years. And, man, she talked about her aches and her pains, and I pushed the product with her forever. So I've known her all this time, and just the other day she mentioned she wanted eye cream. And I said, well, Vicki, we carry eye cream, and I could never get her to get the triangle. In a split second, she said, oh, I'll get the eye cream from you. So easily she would drop $87 for eye cream, but she wouldn't do the triangle. And I had misread her. And I knew clues about her from the past, from what she said about her beauty and whatever, but I didn't zone in on that part. So.
Really good. That's really powerful. A lot of heads were going up and down on that. It's good stuff, Linda. How did it come up? Did you say something about that, or what brought eye cream up? How did that come into the conversation?
We were at dinner, and she said that she was running out of eye cream and that she was going to order some more of that Roden Fields, whatever it is. So I didn't mention it at dinner because we were with someone else, but I called her up the next day. I said, Vicki, we've got eye cream as well. She's like, I had no idea you even, okay. I had no idea you even had any beauty products.
How about that? It's powerful. There's two sides that I'm hearing on this. I'm going to go two ways on this. One is good job on you hearing a need and then filling it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the flip side of where I think you feel a little bit of I don't know what the word of it is. You just feel a little strange on why the heck didn't I say something to her on it? Come up with some questions that you can ask that will hit both sides of that product space that we occupy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, how's everything going with your health? How's everything going with your, do you use a skincare? What type of skincare do you use? Do you like it? It's just a different set of questions that you can add into your box of things to ask people. Now, I am so anti-script because it's not real. But I love scripts from a perspective of a planning exercise to get your mind right into the intent and the direction that you want to lead a conversation. It's like it's in the back of your mind. It's not, let me remember this exact script. That's just weird and it comes across crazy. But in the back of your brain, you want to have a couple of key things that you want to hit in the conversation. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I visualize it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good, Linda. I appreciate you sharing that. And that's a good reminder to everybody is when you think you know, you don't have a clue.
You don't have a clue. She's one of my best friends.
That's awesome. Very cool. Appreciate you sharing that. Good stuff. Who's next?
I've got something.
What you got, Kathy?
Okay. One is about the speed. You were talking about the speed of going through people. Example. Yesterday I was at a store. I went to check out, told, was very pleasant to the person at the checkout and said, how's your day going? Are you having a wonderful day? And, she was very friendly. And then I went, next we were talking about one of the things that I purchased. That led her to talking about how she wanted to decorate her house when she got out on her own, and that she's living with her parents right now. She's young, and I went on to, we went on about that for a while, building rapport, and I just want to know, did I go too fast into the...
I'm glad you asked that question. I wrote a note while you're saying it. And that's why I pulled this up because I want to be crystal clear. Oh, that was not good. Stand by. Push that button too far. Okay. So let me be clear on what I mean by going through people. So let's look at it this way. You've got Al, you got Bob, and you got Chuck. Now the steps that we do are we build rapport, and then we find out how serious they are, and then we edify and we pass. Okay? So what you were just chatting about with the lady you were talking about is you're here at the rapport step, and this is what I call the peak, and this is the edify and pass. All right, so at the R part, when you're in here, don't speed. This is like the school zone. Don't speed between here and here when you're driving the car this way. Okay? Don't speed in here. This is a 30-mile-an-hour zone. Now here and here, also 30 mile an hour. And here, 30 miles an hour. Now here to here, 121 miles an hour. Between here and here, 121 miles an hour. And between here and here, 121 miles an hour.
Okay. So I think I did right, because the report, even though we were at her job and she's working, and I'm trying not to, interfere with that, I did listen. I did get good information. And then because
let me pause you right there. You're at work. You're talking to another human being. If you're doing it right, you ain't talking about business. You ain't talking about products. You ain't talking about anything. You're talking about them.
Right. Then, because I'm taking a risk of never seeing this person again, I wanted to make sure I got her information.
Oh, yeah.
But I asked, I understand that you're working here, and you're looking to move out on your own, are you looking for additional ways to earn income?
Beautiful.
And she said, yes. I
Cool.
said, keep your options open. And she said,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And so I got her information.
And let me tell everybody how you get somebody's information at that point. Let me give you a good little tip, and then you can weave this in your own words. But the intent of it is, hey, now's not the time to get into how we're going to do all this, but it's very important that I get in touch with you later. Would it be okay if I get your contact information? I'll follow up with you and show you how you can make that a reality.
Yeah.
Boom.
And yeah, I definitely had to do it that way because of her being at work and keeping it really quiet because I didn't know if her boss was standing next to her.
Yep.
And so I got her information, and we haven't been able to. I was at work when she was trying to reach me, and I have crappy service at work.
Sure. That's all fine.
Yeah, so we haven't got to.
You haven't got to get to the next part to find out how serious she is right here. So you are caught here in this area, and you want to go through this area as quick as you can.
Okay, and so that area is where I'm going to ask more questions.
Actually,
I just want to make sure I'm clear.
Let's be clear. Right here is where you're going to start asking more questions on how serious she was. Hey, last time we talked, depending on how long it took to traverse this distance.
Right.
When you get back to here, then you're going to say, last we talked, you said that you wanted to move out, get your own place, needed money to do that. Did I get that right? Did I remember correctly? You reframe everything. It's about them. Light switch back on them, pick up right there. How serious were you about that? I'm pretty damn serious. Cool. I need to get you, and then you're going to take this distance right here, and you're going to shrink it down to nothing. There's no distance there. You went so fast, you just go straight into it and said, I need to get you on with my guy. Would you be interested in speaking with him so he can show you how to get and achieve what you're looking for? Yes or no? Again, let me be clear. Precision is what you need right here, and right here. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be drawn out. It has to be specific to them. This part here, for the piquing of their interest, weighing them, this is the dial, the knob, figuring out, are they a 1, are they a 10? And twisting that knob to figure that out. And the edify and the pass, these two parts right here should take you 47 seconds. This from here back and getting to the point where they share their thing that they want fixed, that could take weeks. Or it could take 15 seconds on an elevator ride when somebody's talking about how they don't sleep well. I got one of my customers that way. Literally from the 3rd floor to the lobby, I took care of that first part. Or it could take
a messenger, right? Just 3-way messenger to you.
With that message, yes. Or a text message. Completely fine either way.
Okay.
Completely fine either way. That's how simple this is. Don't overcomplicate it. Spend your time finding out what they want, and then quickly, if you can't get to the next part right then, go as fast as you can through that. When you're with somebody, don't be in a hurry with them from a perspective of you're being rude on figuring out them. I am the most impatient human being I know. I feel like I can finish people's sentences for them. It takes every ounce of control in my being to not do this with people on a constant basis, okay? It ain't easy. I'm not lying. I'm being straight up authentic with y'all. But you got to put that time into them. You'll see me do this from time to time. When my finger goes over my lips, it's a reminder to myself to shut up and listen. And I have some of the best relationships and building of rapport with people that I know, because I truly do listen during those times. Get good at that. Now, after that, I'm also extremely good at moving the conversation and not sitting there and letting somebody drain me, because you can run into those too. Be purposeful, be intentional in the direction you're going with them when you're having these chats. Keep the focus on them. I'm not trying to get it figured out on how do I fix them right then. I'm trying to find out what they need. Now, once I got it and they want to take 6 more laps around the track to tell me the same damn thing 6 more times, I'll stop it on that. Say, I got you. Let me make sure I heard you. Because they don't think they heard you, that you heard them. They don't think they've been understood, so they say it again. Sometimes they say it again because they're in their own head and they're not paying attention to my clues, letting them know I got it. So if they need help with that, I'll interrupt, say, not so seriously, I got it. Let me repeat it to you verbatim. I got it. They want to do that 6 more times. That just annoys me, and I'm out. Because typically when somebody keeps doing that, they want to talk about it. They don't want to fix it. As soon as I get it, then I move. Then I traverse that distance instantaneously. There's very few times that I don't get from figuring out what I believe is their thing, verifying it with them, and taking care of those last 2 steps right then and there. How bad do you want to fix that? No, I know we got to go. I got to get out of here real fast. But before I do, how bad do you want to fix that? Why do I ask? Because I got somebody who can fix that for you. And I just want to know, you shared some really cool stuff with me. I got it all. I'd love to help you with that. I don't have that in my wheelhouse, but I know somebody that can. You want to talk to them, yes or no? Well, let me get your contact information. I'll put you in touch with them, and we'll move forward with our next chat. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Here's my number. Or I don't have time. You don't have time to give me 10 digits right now. Okay, I can. I don't leave without that. And I also get those other steps done too. Those are the easy parts. The deep-seated part is going through the beginning on finding out about them, going deep enough with them. And don't go shallow. As soon as you hear it, hit them 3 layers deep on that. Why is that important to you? You want to be able to move out into this apartment on your own. Why is that important to you? How many times we hear that? We make an assumption, well, I know why she wants to do it. You have no idea what's underneath that. Maybe it's the freedom. Maybe it's the control. Maybe it's an abusive relationships. Who knows what's going on in there? Ask them questions, find out. That's how you build even stronger bonds with them. That's when they really know that you understand them. That's a good one, Rob. All right. Any questions about anything we mentioned today? Would strangers be willing to open that fast? Depends on how quick I turn them from a stranger into somebody that's buddies with me. I have literally sat down with people that I've never met in my life, and in 10 minutes, they're telling me their life story. So it's absolutely possible to do that. It just depends on how in tune you are with them. And it's funny, 10% of it's talking, 90% of it's everything else. And I mean, it comes down to, pheromones. It comes down into just all sorts of stuff. What's going on in your brain? Can you quiet your mind and truly pay attention to the other person? Are you truly listening to understand them? Or are you listening to judge them? There's so many levels to it. But yes, the answer is you can go that fast with somebody, and you can turn a stranger into a real good friend really quick. Now, there's other people that you could try it for 10 years and you ain't going to get nowhere with them. They're just broken. That's all right. Listen to your gut too. Sometimes we get too far into here on the analytical side and we miss the heart side of it too. When you got a connection with somebody, tell them that. Share it with them. Don't care what I'm going to look weird to them. No, that's you talking about you. Do it for them. When you're in it for them, oh man, it's crazy. I can't tell you the number of unbelievably awesome conversations I've had in the last couple months with people. I mean, it's just fun. It's awesome to learn what makes people tick. By asking really good specific questions about them, they're easy. They're not like they're hard questions. It's questions like, why is that important to you? Man, nobody talks to people that way. Nobody cares. Nobody truly wants to understand that. They want to get to their Netflix movie. That's their desire. Man, you get into somebody and it's about them, truly, totally about them, whew, that's pretty neat, man. You have some cool conversations. You can learn some awesome stuff. I had a guy over last night. He shared with me, I mean, this is not his ball of wax. This is not what he feels comfortable doing. But he wants it so damn bad that he'll push past all of that. And he shared with me, because we connected down to that level, he shared with me what he truly desires. I didn't quite understand what it was the first time, and I'm usually pretty good at catching on. I didn't get it. I had to ask more questions. And when he shared that, man, he lit up like a Christmas tree. You could see the passion. I mean, looks me in the eye and just nails it with what he wants to do. Have those conversations with people. Get to that level with them. And then when you hear something, say, hey, that's one of the things I can fix. Actually, I got a guy that can fix it. You want to fix that? Yes or no? That's it. Not that you don't know how to fix it, but do you want to fix it? Do you want it fixed? I got a guy. Do you want to talk to him? I got a text message. I'm going to make it happen. Done. Next. Get to the next person quick. Don't wait 4 more days to go to the next one. Y'all have got a lot of raw material. Promise you, every one of you has raw material that's out there. You are prejudging them. You don't have a clue if they want eye cream or a sunrise, to use Linda's example. It's awesome. It's such an awesome thing when you see it's like, son of a gun, I didn't ask the right question. So ask those questions and do it fast. Fast from a perspective of consistently doing it. Fast from a perspective of don't wait 4 days in between asking people questions. You want your results to double? Cut down on the time between you reaching out to people by half. Your results will double. You want it to double again? Cut it in half again. Good? Everybody good? All right. Any last comments before we call it a night? All right, real quick question on anything I've gleaned from Mr. Davenport. Actually, yeah, I'll share that real fast. We talked about numbers, and then we talked about numbers some more, and we talked about numbers some more. Are you tracking your numbers? Are your people tracking their numbers? The numbers that they track are different ones than I track. Well, the numbers I'd love to see y'all track. How many pieces of raw material did you reach out to each day? How many reach outs? How many people did you start? So that would be a reach out, starting a conversation. How many of those people responded to you? Okay. That lets you know that you're doing something. You're having conversations. How many people did you find out what their desire was that day? How many people have you dialed in the knob to see how bad they wanted to fix it? How many people did you pull the lever with and introduce them to the guy that can fix that? Those are the things that you do. How many people did you follow up with that day to make sure they didn't get stuck on the wheel on the conveyor belt? Those are follow-ups. Those are the things to track. How many of those people made it to the point where they actually got to the I Know a Guy video, the inoculation? How many people made it to the presentation video? How many people turned into customers? How many people turned into business partners? How much personal development did you do in minutes for the day? These are the numbers that we track. That's the entirety of what we talked about, was literally around that. There was other stuff, but that was the main point to share in 2 minutes or less. Okay, awesome. Yes, sir. Good question. Appreciate that. All right, I'm going to unmute the line so y'all can say good night. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. Y'all keep killing it. All right, we'll talk to y'all next time.
Good night.
Good night, John Boy.
Thank you,
Good night,
Casey.
everybody. Thank you
Good night.
guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Casey.
Absolutely. Good job on getting a new business partner, Joanne. She's awesome.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And
Yeah.
I did listen and listen and listen. So, and I had to do what you did. I just sit there. I had to, because I am one of those that's going to want to, and I listened.
That's great advice, Casey.
It is. I'm telling you. And by the time she got finished, I did nothing. She did everything. I didn't do anything. I just listened.
Good job.
Mary Ann even congratulated me.
That's so good. I love it. That's so good.
Good night.
See you, Harold.
Night,
Good night.
everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.